Like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Analysis: The West shouldn't lose so many hearts and minds last 2 weeks, as shares of India's Adani Group tumbled in response to a report by an American short seller. A popular ex-cricketer with 23 million Twitter followers tweeted, "India's progress will not be tolerated by whites." The conglomerate cited the infamous massacre of nearly 400 unarmed civilians by British forces in 1919. Just days earlier, India's Hindu nationalist government had banned a 2-part documentary about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's alleged role in the 2002 anti-Muslim riots, and her creators accused the BBC of having a persistent colonial mindset, a charge quickly echoed through India's public sphere. The Indian elite are hardly alone in opportunistically raising the old banner of anti-colonialism against Western critics. Last year, when Russian President Vladimir Putin his legal announcing the urgent annexation of 4 Ukrainian provinces, he extensively denounced the West's historic devastations in India, China and other parts of Asia and Africa, and made Russia the leader of a global anti-colonial alliance against a racist and neo-colonial West. Western politicians and media layers are only just beginning to realize the problem and its magnitude. How, for example, the white majority nations of Europe and North America appear increasingly isolated in their accelerating military and economic campaign against Russia. The US and EU are also guilty. Indeed, many are busy rediscovering and reestablishing white supremacist politics and culture. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a likely presidential candidate, is leading a Republican effort to stifle academic studies of the devastating, wide-ranging effects of racism. Former Prime Minister Boris Johnson is hardly isolated among his peers for claiming British colonialists should never have left Africa. A much-lauded new book by a frequent Times of London contributor attempts to argue a moral case for British colonialism. Historical stories in which people recognize themselves jostle at any time. Today, in a time of relative Western decline, many more people see themselves in a different, equally compelling narrative, one in which white men subjugated and denigrated much of the world's population. The US itself once recognized the importance of not losing moral advantage in the global battle of narratives. When the spectacle of the local police's brutal attack on civil rights protesters in Birmingham, Alabama, in 1963, caused international outrage, President John F. Kennedy had to step in. As Martin Luther King Jr. pointed out, Kennedy acted because he was fighting for the minds and hearts of the people of Asia and Africa at the time. During the Cold War, Democratic leaders broke with Jim Crow officials in the South and accelerated the extension of civil rights to African Americans, knowing that any country claiming to advance a civilized, rules-based liberal order must first embody it.